Hey folks, hello everyone out there in the Nostalgia Mall land. I'm Lmull3 and I'm filling in for the Nostalgia Mall this week with a video about this gateway, which might be a familiar sight on this channel. I am not entirely sure, it's been a while. But it is a gateway G6-400, and based on the 400 and the model number there, this is a Pentium 2 400 machine, which for me holds nostalgia. Now, when I was a kid, I had Macs growing up, but we also had at least one PC around the house. And at one point we had a Dell Dimension. It's something that looks a bit like a 4100. It might have even been one. I'm not quite sure which model it was, but it had that same style case. And it had a Pentium 2 400 in it. It came with Windows 98 First Edition, and over the years, we ended up upgrading it to Windows 2000. In fact, I remember standing in line at CompUSA, getting Windows 2000, and there was a weird, haggard-looking guy behind me buying a copy of Linspire, trying to evangelize, 8, 9, 10-year-old me into getting Linux. And I'm just and at that point, Linux to me was Red Hat, and I didn't even really know what Red Hat was. So that's a funny memory that came back to me. So that Compu 2000 that we bought ended up going on that Dell Pentium 2 400 based system. And I'll tell you what, 2000 ran very well in that machine. But this machine was really made for NT4 and 98. It was just around that time. So I'm trying to remember how I got this machine. I want to say I bought this from the Nostalgia Mall. And I've just sort of been sitting on it for a couple years. I mainly bought it because I wanted a Pentium 2 400 system to make a video about. And I figure, why not do this for a fill-in video? Let's take a look at this thing, at least under my perspective. So it's come to me pretty souped up. It's got a DVD drive, floppy drive, of course. It's a little yellow and dirty, but, I can clean that up. It has a CD burner down there, which makes a lot of sense for the time, because what I did with the Dell back in the day, when we upgraded it to 2000, I used to use that Dell to download music from various file sharing services, put them on a zip disk, bring them upstairs to the other computer to burn a CD so I could listen to it. So you could probably say that the same thing was done with this machine, since it has a CD burner in it. Not that I'll really be burning CDs with this machine, but having two drives is nice in case you want to leave like a game disc in there or something that you play a lot. So the machine styling has that sort of bulbous, whoa, what am I doing with the zoom there? Holy crap. So the machine has that sort of bulbous thing going on. It's got a beer belly. The side, there's your serial number. Pretty high serial number. Looks like is that paint that's been scraped off, or is that something else? I don't know what that is, but yeah, it's got a pretty thick side panel. 1.2 mil plastic, something like that. It's a little bit scratched on top. It's very yellow on this side for some reason. I'm guessing this was sitting on a desk at one point, and then the sun just baked this one side of it. I could retrobrite that, but honestly, on this side of the machine I never look at, so who cares? Probably not going to bother doing that unless it gets really bad. And of course, here's the back of the machine. Here's your ID tag. It was built December 28th, 1998, so this is probably right at the tail end of the Pentium 2 era of machines, when Pentium 2, I guess, were the cheaper, lower-end machines you could buy. And, to be fair, back at the end of 98, beginning of 99, a Pentium 2 would have been fine if all you were doing was just, using the internet and checking your email and stuff like that. Would have been fine. There's one thing that I probably need to fix. I need to repair this power supply. And no, not in the usual way with capacitors, but I need to replace this, I need to replace the power socket, because as you can see here, it's kind of broken. I don't like that. So eventually we'll probably do a video on fixing up that power supply. I mean, all I need to do is fix this socket, so I figure I could go on like DigiKey or Mouser or something and just get this IEC connector and just stick a new connector in this power supply. It's a pretty simple power supply. It's that switch gives away how early that is. So your I/O is pretty good on this machine. You got your PS2 ports, you've got USB 1.1, I would assume, 2 serial ports, parallel port, which they label with a printer, of course, because you know that's all you use parallel for, I get, or whatever. Full array of audio ports, your line out, line in microphone, and you get a game port, which is very nice. This machine has 2 cards pre-installed in it. This video card is OEM. This network card, I'm not sure. It looks like a 10100 card. So I don't know. We'll have to take a look at that. I don't know if that was OEM with these machines or not. I would assume it would either come with a it would probably come with a modem or something. It looks like this slot blank has been changed, so it probably had a modem at some point or another. Uses thumb screws, which I'm very happy about. So let's get the side of the machine off and show you what lies inside. Just look how heavy duty this case is, though. I'm just so impressed by that. Look at that. The whole thing is just nice, thick steel. Like they just don't make this stuff like they used to, man. They really don't. Let me tip this over and then we'll take a look at it. Alright, here's the inside of this machine. It uses a slot 1 Pentium 2 with a nice big heatsink on it. And the way they cool it, I think, is a very good idea. They just stick a shroud on the power supply, and that fan will just suck air through the heatsink, so it's kind of passively cooled, but not really. It's a good idea. So that's kind of why I want to keep this original power supply running, so I can keep the shroud there without having to jerry-rig it. So I think so what I might do while I'm in there is recap that at some point. I don't know. Well, I'll have to poke at it with a multimeter, and we'll look at that at some point or another on my channel instead of on this channel. So here you go. It's the cable management's quite nice. That looks factory to me. Looks like it has a drive in it. WD-400. So a nice 40 gig drive. That's a good size for this machine. That's much newer than the machine. I think back in the day you probably would have had like a... What drive sizes would have been there at the end of 90? Like an 8 gig, 10 gig, 12 gig drive, something like that. So here's the video card. It's an Ensoniq video card, which is unusual. Usually don't see Ensoniq making their own video cards. Or at least I never did back in the day. It was always like Diamond or something, right, for the ATI stuff. Although this is not ATI. This is a Gateway OEM card of a Voodoo 3000. So this card supports the Glide API. And that means games like, I think Quake 2 will support that and end up looking really cool. And yeah, that's definitely something I'll have to take a look at in the future. There's the network card, which that's probably not OEM. It's an Intel network card, so that's good at least. Take a look at the let's take a look at the VRM there. Nice big coils down there. Nice healthy looking capacitors there. So yeah, the inside of this machine just looks as tough as the outside, and I love that. So why don't we fire this thing up and have some fun with it, eh? Let's see what kind of surprises lurk on the drive. Alright, we've got this quick and dirty setup done. Just got a keyboard. I need to get a mouse, but got a PS2 keyboard here. Going to get a PS2 mouse to stick in there. Have this 4x3 Dell monitor with a sound bar. Which is not period correct, but it'll look the best on video. So, without further ado, let me go get a mouse and then we'll boot this thing up. Alright, let's turn this machine on and see what she's made of. Oh yeah, listen to that hard drive. Here we go. 3DFX. So it's a 16 meg video card. That mystery's been solved at least. Whoa. Yeah, let's go into the BIOS and take a look at that. Diskette drive A error. Interesting. I don't know why I'm getting that. Interesting. Anyway, let's see what we got in this machine. Looks like we have Pentium 2 400. Can I adjust the focus on this? Anyway, we got a Pentium 2 400. 100 megahertz front side bus. Has 192 megs of RAM, so I would guess that it originally came with 64 and the 128 was added later. The date is on, which means the battery's good. So that's pretty cool. It might be a day or two off, I'm not sure. So you get your plug and play OS stuff going on there. Alright, so it sees the hard drive, but it only sees the DVD-ROM. Now, does that DVD-ROM actually work? What about the CD burner? Does not work at all. It does not eject. So, I guess that drive is bad. Floppy. Oh, 360K. Maybe that's why it's acting funny. Let's try 144 meg. Good God, man. Yeah. I think I was trying to get a 360K drive to work in this computer at one point. AGP. It's an AGP video card. I forgot to mention that earlier. Visa video power down. Wow, look at that. A lot of new features for that time. LAN desks. Oh my God, LAN desk. That's kind of cool. Alright, so BIOS is pretty sparse. So I fixed the floppy drive. Let's see if it'll boot now. Hit that tab key to see what's going on. You can do it, buddy. I believe in you. Huh. I guess the floppy drive might be bad, too, or misconfigured or something. Let's boot anyway. I'll figure that out at some point. This is just an overview, not a repair video. I just wanted to show you what this machine's all about. Windows 98, look at that. Ain't that a pretty sight? If I look down the side of the video here, it looks like there's some noise in the picture. Not much, though. My mouse working? I forgot about that. Yeah.
Welcome to my house, everybody. The drinks are over there.
Hooray! I completely forgot that they memed this machine up. Oh, look, it's my Mooper. My Rare. Install Windows Nice Juice 99. Oh, yeah. That background, though. That is fantastic. Let's look at what they put in the folder here. I can actually hear data noise coming through the speakers. Oh, that's the background. I can actually hear data noise coming through the speakers when it hits the CPU really hard. sound card in this, the built-in sound on this motherboard is not shielded well or filtered well at all. Alright, what is actually on this computer? 3DFX tools. Let's see what that looks like. Oh. 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 DLL hell, Windows 98. What else we got? Bunch of stuff in here. You know what? Let's look at the sounds. We'll save the exit Windows sound for when I actually shut the computer off.
Nobody knows.
Hey, that's Jay. Well, I guess you would know that just by reading it, but you know.
Welcome to my house, everybody. The drinks are over there.
Happens when you empty the recycle bin. Oh, nothing. Oh, they put some funny stuff on here. So it looks like your standard Windows 98 install. So let's take a look at the devices that are in here. Generic IDE disk. Wow, how... it's a 3DFX Voodoo Banshee. Okay. I think that's a Voodoo 3000. I'm pretty sure it is. So, in a future video that I do on my channel, we're definitely going to take a look at Voodoo stuff, just because I've never really delved into it before. I never had Voodoo growing up at all. I've seen it in a few other people's videos, but I've never actually played with it myself, so I figure a bit of Quake 2 will be in order at some point on the other channel. Intel. Looks like we got Intel chipsets here, which is nice to see. It actually recognizes my monitor, a Dell 1907 FP. How cool is that? So what have we got? Okay, that's interesting. So this gateway was one of the machines from the time to actually start to use decent onboard audio. I mean, obviously, earlier you heard me complain about the lack of shielding between data noise and, you know, the sound output. That was a common thing back then. Onboard audio was not good, just by circuit design. But this Sound Blaster 128D, this, I think, is the onboard version of a Sound Blaster 128, like straight up. Looks like it. I'm not quite sure. We'll have to try MIDI and see how that sounds. See if I recognize the way it sounds. This is Intel chipsets all the way. So this is one of the better gateways of the time. There were a year or two after this, there were some gateways that came out that were both AMD and Intel, and the AMD ones, in particular, I think had some weird chipset herky-jerkiness going on. So let's, what we got in system devices here? Yeah, look at all the Intel stuff. Lots of Intel chipset stuff. Let's try out that Sound Blaster 128D. Let's go into the folder and check that out, because I'm curious to see how that sounds. Yeah, I know. I'm an expert. I've been using Windows 98 for 20 years. Media. Well, only one of these I can really play that won't get a copyright, won't get a content ID match is Canyon, so I'll just do that. Let's see how Canyon sounds on a Sound Blaster 128D. Yeah, that sounds like what I remember it sounding like. It sounds just like the 128 card that I have. Even with the stereo separation and everything too. Ooh. And some of that end noodling in this song on this MIDI, I noticed that some of the timings sounded off, so maybe not the greatest wavetable in the world, but it sounds decent, you know. It doesn't sound like anything's missing. Just sounds like it's not very fast. So yeah, there you have it. Well, that doesn't sound that bad, actually. Are there really no games on here? Yeah, I'm gonna have to put some on here to really demonstrate what's what with this machine. But this is just an overview. The machine works really well, apart from the floppy drive and the CD burner. Looks like these two items here will need attention. I'm guessing that a cable is bad or a floppy drive has gone bad. I think this drive here is just completely bad and needs to be changed. The floppy drive, hopefully I can salvage, because you kind of need that to use boot discs for 98 and things like that. The DVD drive up there, on the other hand, does work, so that's good. At least it's recognized by the machine. I don't know if it actually works, if the laser's any good. So yeah, that I'll delve in on a future video on my channel. But as this is a fill-in video, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a view of an old friend. Still alive, still kicking, still doing its thing. I just need to actually stick a bunch of games on here and try out the Voodoo stuff, because I'm really eager to do that. I've never messed with that before. I think that would be a lot of fun to play games with the Glide API. Quake 2 is first on my list. So, yeah, there you have it. Let's shut this machine down. Oh yeah. Yeah, that song's a little bit of an inside joke. That's pretty funny. But yeah, that was an overview of an old friend, the Gateway G6-400. It seems to be a good machine. Like, it's not a Gateway 2000, but it still seems like it's really well built. Maybe I'm gonna guess around the turn of the millennium is when the quality started to dip a little bit. Because this seems fine. Like, everything in here seems good quality, well built, and up to snuff of what Gateway 2000 was. So, I don't know. I like this machine. Seems like a pretty good one. The bulbous styling on the front there is a little bit funny, but yeah, I just thought I'd give you guys a peek at an old friend. So, this has been Lmull3 filling in on the Nostalgia Mall channel. I hope you guys enjoyed my my video for him and Nostalgia Mall. I hope you enjoyed my video I made for you. So, with that, I bid ye farewell. Have a good one, everybody. Ciao.
Thank you for visiting the Nostalgia Mall. If you liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You may also support me on Patreon if you would like. Until next time, this is Billy Coore, signing off.